So hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, wherever time you are watching this video. Today we'll be touching on a very interesting topic, and that is the Cushing's syndrome. Cushing's syndrome mostly occurs due to prolonged exposure to cortisol, either from our body producing excessive of this cortisol or from taking the corticosteroid medication. Like I explained, it can be exogenous, which is from taking corticosteroid medication, so that's prednisolone and dexamethasone, all those corticosteroids for conditions such as asthma, arthritis, for eczema, even to prevent organ failure for transplants. And this can be endogenous, which is caused by mostly tumors, which is pituitary and adenoma, causing excessive secretion of this cortisol from the adrenal glands. But before we go further, I would like to explain things as we go to avoid confusion. Right now, I want us to know what corticosteroids are. Corticosteroids are just synthetic drugs. It means it's not natural, that mimics the effects of cortisol, which is a natural hormone produced by the adrenal cortex. So simply saying is that corticosteroid is just a synthetic drug that is made to mimic the effects of cortisol, and cortisol is the natural hormone that is produced at the adrenal cortex, and it acts as anti-inflammatory, immunosuppressant, metabolic, many functions in the body. Now, I also want us to know what cortisol is. Cortisol is simply a hormone, a kind of a chemical messenger. That hormone is a chemical messenger that your body, or that makes your body to control certain important function. It helps your body to do a lot of things, and it is made by the adrenal gland, specifically the adrenal cortex. And this adrenal gland is just a small organ that sits on top of the kidney. It's triangular in shape, and it sits on top of the kidney. We should know that cortisol is a stress hormone. It's a hormone that is released upon stress. It has other functions, but mostly is a stress hormone. They say whenever we face something stressful like anger, illness, injury, your brain sends signals to this adrenal gland to release what is called cortisol, and cortisol helps your body to deal with the stress. For example, it makes your heart beat faster and blood pressure rise, so more blood goes to your muscle and brain. And it tells your liver to release glucose into your blood, so you have quick energy. And it also helps your body to for sleep and wake cycle. Like mostly at night, it goes down to, and it enables us to relax and sleep, and then in the morning it rises up to help us to wake up and also energize in the morning and not feel weak. So cortisol, on the wrap of it, is just stress hormone. It helps us to handle stress. It helps our body to handle stress such as hunger, anger, injury, or even infection, like a threat in the system. So it helps your body to deal with it by enabling heart to beat faster and blood pressure to rise, for blood to reach important organs such as the brain and the muscle, and then the liver to release glucose for energy. Not only that, cortisol also affects your mood and memory, helping you to stay alert and focused. And then it's also your body builds alarm system. Like I said, it helps you to survive tough moments, such as when you are stressed or when there is a threat. It helps you to stay alert, focused, to have energy to handle the stress, and also allow blood to go to the vital organs such as the brain and the muscle. Now, why too much of this cortisol is a problem? Just like everything in the body, balance in the key. The body system, the body system tries each time to make a balance, make everything in the system that's happening in the body be balanced. Then too much of this cortisol is an issue on its own, and that is Cushing's syndrome. It's going to lead to this Cushing's syndrome. And then this too much of cortisol can cause a whole lot of things in the system, such as weight gain. We know that when the body is stressed, as we mentioned, the brain of this cortisol is going to tell the liver to keep on pushing out glucose into the blood. That is, they're going to pushing out this sugar, excessive sugar in the blood, and if care is not taken, it can cause a kind of diabetes, which is steroid-induced diabetes mellitus, and it's going to lead to weight gain because excessive glucose is being pushed into the system, and it's especially the trunk area, the face and trunk area. There's going to be excessive fat deposition around those areas. And then high blood pressure. We all know that it's going to make the heart to work faster, the heart to beat faster, and blood pressure to rise, so that blood is going to reach important organ. So the after effects of that is going to be high blood pressure. Then mood swing. We all know that when the blood is being pushed to the brain and all that, is going to help to improve our focus and our attention, our memory. And if care is not taken, it can cause anxiety. You can't sleep, insomnia. So that's the effect. And then muscle weakness. You all know that the certain glucose is being stored in the muscle, and when this stress happens, there's going to be a lot of breakdown of glucose, and the muscle is not left out. It's not only the liver. When this part is exhausted, another part takes over to sustain the body, and which is going to cause muscle weakness. And then thin and slow healing. We don't know that protein is the bodybuilding. So, and these proteins and this thing is going to be converted to glucose in certain points, and this can cause poor healing of. So now let's go real quick how cortisol is controlled in the body. This system is called the HPA, which is the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, and the adrenal gland. Meanwhile, when there is a stress in the body, the brain is going to detect this thing. And which part of the brain is going to detect is the hypothalamus. It's going to detect this stress and then release a chemical called the corticotropin releasing hormone, which is the CRH. And then this CRH tells the pituitary gland, goes to the pituitary gland to release what we know as ACTH, and this ACTH is the adrenocorticotropic hormone, and which is going to travel to the adrenal gland and tells it to release this cortisol when there is stress in the system.